Hey, I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. Today, I want to hang out with you and chit chat a little bit about something that I've been thinking about. Um, as you guys may or may not know, the role of Nessa Rose in the Wicked movie adaptation is actually going to be played by a wheelchair user. Her name is Marissa Bodie. Look her up. She's all over social media. And by all over social media, I mean on YouTube and Facebook. YouTube and Instagram, excuse me. But look her up. Her last name is spelled B-O-D-E, Bodie. And why her role is so monumental is that it is the first time ever in Wicked's lifetime in 20 years that the role is going to be played by a wheelchair user. An actual legit wheelchair user. And so I had come up with a few things about what if Nessa, who, if you've seen her journey in Wicked, if you know the story, you know that she goes through this deep, deep journey of having a conversation with her sister Elphaba about wanting to be different. And her arc is essentially starts with, all of my life I've depended on you and you've done nothing for me. And so she's asking Elphaba, her sister, when is my life going to be different? Why haven't you helped me do anything about it? But the thing that I've been entertaining and rolling around in my brain is, what if Nessa was a woman who didn't want her life to be different? What if Nessa was a woman who was comfortable with who she was and knew exactly who she was and what she wanted and lived an independent life? What would that look like? So what I think that would look like, as a woman who uses a chair myself and has been using a walker myself since I was very, very young. I was 4 years old when I got my first chair, and I was 7 years old when I started walking, when I learned how to walk. So what I think that would look like now, if the role was to change, and I'm not saying that Wicked needs to change the role. Actually, what I'm saying is that they need to put emphasis on casting Wicked across the board. They need to put emphasis on casting Nessa Rose as a legit wheelchair user. But also, here is what I'm entertaining, just for fun. If Nessa Rose was a woman who was comfortable in her body and didn't want to be changed. What I see and what I have experienced myself is that a character or a person in our lives, like Elphaba, would be somebody who is very, very overprotective. And what I see for Nessa, if somebody were to write this journey out, what I see is that Nessa would be somebody who was a go-getter, somebody who was flirtatious, and somebody who just wanted to live life to the fullest, and would actually tell her sister, hey, ECS is here, Emerald City Services, much like Access Services. If you guys know me, you know that Access Services and my chair has changed my life. So she would say, ECS is here, Emerald City Services is here, and I'm going to go down to the Ozdesk Ballroom for the night and just have a little bit of fun and maybe flirt with the waiter or two. Elfie, I have my key, don't wait up. And I would see her in my mind's eye, I see her as looking physically like Alphaba, still having that same pretty face and still being that soft personality, but I see her also personality-wise more as a Glinda, meaning she would want to put herself out there. She would want to go, like I said, be a go-getter and be out in her world and feel what that feels like. And so often, I have to say that we as wheelchair users are, unless we are intentional, and this goes for everybody, but especially people that use equipment or have conditions that can be considered disabilities, or in a way, shape, or form, be something that can hinder you unless you take the extra steps to better yourself very, very intentionally. You can, for the lack of a better analogy, get into this little bubble of wanting your support system, yes, but sometimes your support system can get so overwhelming that you tend to feel, if you're soft-hearted like me, you tend to feel like a bad person for saying, I have an amazing support system, but when is my support system going to leave me alone? And there's so many times where I have seen, as of late on Instagram, hug the people that you love, tell them how much they mean to you, and hold on to your support system. But it is equally valid to say, when is my support system going to leave me alone? I need a break. And so I think going forward with Wicked, I don't think they need to change. They need to change the script and do what I was just talking about. What I was just talking about was something fun and something that I would really love to see in different literature. I know that Ali Stroker has been a major, major game changer in our community. And she has done that. She took Ada Lanny and just turned her upside down in the best way, because now we as equipment users and people with disabilities, we are being seen as actual people who want actual relationships and can have the ability to put in actual effort into our relationships and into our social lives. And we aren't the Nessa Roses and the Lauras that people have for so long portrayed us as. We aren't helpless. We aren't sad. And if we are, I have to give validation to the fact that if there's somebody out there that is sad and feels hopeless, all it takes, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, all it takes is community. And I know that right now, if you're listening to this and you are newly injured, or if you are somebody who was born with your condition and you're going through something, maybe in school or maybe in a relationship, and you just don't feel quote unquote normal, I'm going to tell you a couple things. One, you will never be in a place where you have arrived at a certain mountaintop. You will always be in the process. As I learned in the sermon this week, we are always going to be in process. All of us, no matter what we go through. And second of all, it takes years. It's taken me personally half my life, 20 years, to get to the place where I am right now in life, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And by the way, that is part of the Boundless Babe motto. I'm wearing my Boundless Babe pink t-shirt right now for those of you who are on the audio only, and for those of you who are on YouTube, you can see it. But I am wearing my Boundless Babe t-shirt right now, and what it says is, a boundless babe knows what she wants and goes after it. She pursues independence mentally, emotionally, and physically. And she proves to herself and everyone else that anything is possible. And in order to feel that, in order to have that feeling, what you need is not to be by yourself. What you need is community, and to know that you will have your ups and down days. I have, now that I'm in community with the Boundless Babe Society and the Rolettes, I have more up days than I do down days. But when I have my down days, I know for a fact that I could reach out to people, that I could reach out to my Boundless Babe sisters and just lean on them, lean into them, and have them pump me up again. And sometimes we have deep, deep conversations. I know that with my accountability partner, my sister Emily, we've had so many deep conversations. And I just love her for welcoming that. And because it's something that I needed my whole life. But I just wanted to come on in and chit chat with you guys about what I see for the future of not only Nessa, but I see for the future of how we are seen as a community. And I believe that if Wicked were to come alongside us as true allies and cast every production of Wicked with a legit wheelchair user who really knew the ins and outs of living this life and really had gone through the arc, so to speak, that Nessa Rose goes through, but yet has come out on the other side of it, she would be able to be an advocate and an ally for any woman or man, any young or older woman or man that is struggling with seeing themselves as quote unquote normal. And I'm going to give you another hard truth bomb right now. Normal is not a thing. And it's taken me so long to come to grips with that and to really accept it, to really accept the way that God made me. And I just thank my community so much for being there for me and for lifting me up. And you guys, I changed this talk a little bit from what I had done on Instagram, but I feel like the change was valid, it was needed, and I just hope to see so many more positive depictions of who we are as people who are equipment users or people with disabilities, whatever you want to call it. I choose to call myself an equipment user and only call myself disabled some days when I truly, truly am struggling and have a hard time doing things. But I do not let my CP hold me back. And I hope that if there is anybody out there who is listening to this that might need community, especially ladies, please reach out to the Rolettes and the Boundless Babe Society. They have changed my life, and that's no small thing. I wasn't living a life before BBS and the Boundless Babe Society. I was just content staying at home, being that stereotypical woman who used a piece of equipment to get around, but I was content staying at home in my little bubble unless my parents were there to help me out of the house and take me from here to there and everywhere. But now it is a little bit of extra work, but now having the freedom of access service and being able to say I have a fully charged phone, a fully charged watch, which I need to charge right now so I could do my workout later. I have a fully charged phone, a fully charged watch. I have my money on me, and everything will be fine. I'll be in contact with you, but to be able to have that autonomy of being my own person and not just being my parents' daughter, or not just being my brother's sister, or not just being somebody's cousin. It is so important to build up your own sense of self and to actually depict wheelchair users and other equipment users and other people with disabilities as actual people who live actual lives. And so I think within the next 3 to 5 years, I would like to see crib casting, which that is what it's called when you actually just plop somebody who has no experience being in a chair or having a disability into a situation where they have to have the mannerisms of that, because once they have the mannerisms of that, it's not authentic, it's a caricature. And so I would love to see legit representation of people with disabilities by people with disabilities. And I just hope that Wicked would consider actually becoming an ally with us, with all of us as a community, and just really rethinking about, not rethinking their script, but rethinking their casting about how Nessa Rose and other people are depicted. I know that I didn't include this on my talk on Instagram, but I would also love to see Alphaba as a true green girl. Somebody who has CP. Because I know as a woman with CP, I have been through the ringer with all the questions. When I was Alphaba's age, like when college age, I got all those questions. Why are you like that? Are you ever going to get any better? Why aren't you normal? Are you doing something to get better? And it just took a toll on me. And so I want to see that representation of somebody being different. And yeah, Alphaba and Nessa Rose, as they are right now, are a start. But it could get a lot better. It could get a lot better by being more authentic. And the authenticity that it needs is proper casting. And so I'm going to leave you with the thought that when people consider equality and people consider diversity, people with disabilities aren't often considered. So, you guys, please, if you're out there and you're a playwright or a TV writer or a movie writer or a book writer, shout out to Ali Stroker, who is writing her second book in her series of in her follow-up of A Chance to Fly. Her new book is going to be called Cut Loose, and I can't wait to read it, or in my case listen to it, because I'm not an avid actual reader. I'm more of an audiobook listener, which I find no shame in that. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, and I hope that if this has resonated with you in any way, please reach out to me and tell me how. And also, please follow me on all my social medias. My Instagrams are Marie Nicole Zimmer Peeps, MarieNicole ZimmerPeeps, and Marie Nicole Zimmer Peeps 13, MarieNicoleZimmerPeeps 13. And my Facebook for my podcast is Encouragement Notes Podcast, but you can search it by typing in Zimmer Peeps 13. And also, lastly, you can follow me on my website, which is encouragementwithmarienicole.com. I will talk to you guys later. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you soon with the next message. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.